everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to do a manifestation advice type of video where I am going to go over limiting beliefs or circumstances that I have here written on the left side, and then on the right side we have the reframing, positive affirmations, things that will override the circumstances that you may be experiencing in your manifestation. This is SP related if you're trying to manifest a specific person, especially in in the context of a romantic relationship. This video is definitely for you. Just a disclaimer, you probably might already know this, so this could just be a refresher video, or some of you may be completely new to this world or these concepts. Okay, wherever you are, I intend that this video will help you, because even for me, even though I know the basics of manifestation and I've been through pretty much every circumstance imaginable in my life when it comes to SP, love, relationships, I definitely need refreshers. And I also do this exercise whenever I can, just to, keep my mind fresh, my brain fresh. I manifest, I script, I affirm pretty much every day. I think since I discovered manifestation, or, since I joined this community, which I really like this community a lot. Since I think, I joined in 2020. So it's been 5 years. I've been doing affirmations every day, and my life has just elevated in unimaginable ways. I'm so happy. Sometimes I think about what my life would have been like if I hadn't discovered this. But honestly, that reality doesn't even exist, and that's a great way to segue into the video. One thing I do want to say is that blanket self-concept affirmations help so much, right? So exactly what I said. I don't focus on the reality I don't want. I don't focus on things that just are not in alignment with my manifestation. So just keep that in mind while doing manifestation, okay? While whatever it is that you do, affirm, visualize, script, just understand that you don't have to experience anything you don't want to, okay? And this is something I constantly have to remind myself, because sometimes life happens, right? Sometimes limiting beliefs can sneak in, and we realize they've been in our subconscious minds the whole time, right? And sometimes that will end up manifesting in our 3D reality. You'll be like, oh my gosh, how did this happen? I obviously wasn't affirming for this. How did a 3P pop up? Why is it taking so much time? Why do I always attract people that are emotionally unavailable, right? And we'll go through all of that, but I just want to let you know that you don't have to experience anything you don't want to, and that all it takes is for you to just say that. Just tell yourself, I don't have to go through anything I don't want to. This is my life. I call back my power. This is my reality. Why would I be a victim in my own reality? Why would I operate from a scarcity mindset in my own reality, right? And again, even for me, this is stuff that I have written in the notes section of my phone, just for me to remind myself, because when life gets in the way, sometimes we don't have time, or whatever, the capacity to rationally think. We just end up delving into a victim mindset, oh, why is this happening to me, right? But ever since I started manifestation, or just consciously manifesting, because I've been manifesting my whole life, and so have you. But since I started consciously manifesting, I realized I get less triggered. My triggers, whenever I do get triggered, which sometimes can happen, it doesn't last that long. I don't stay sad for a long time. And I've also just noticed I always have something to look forward to in life. My life is fun. I'm so happy with pretty much everything in my life, and you can use these as affirmations, okay? And I'm just saying, this is my reality, this is my truth. But since I started consciously manifesting, things have just gotten so much better. So for those of you that think that, I started consciously manifesting, nothing changed, I didn't get the job I wanted, I didn't get the partner, I didn't get that, no, you're so close to getting it. And if you're gonna keep thinking that way, then in a way you're not, I don't want to say you're undoing your manifestation, but you might be just kind of delaying it a bit, which that could be a limiting belief too. But just know that this stuff is working, because I've been where you are. I used to think that, oh, nothing's working, nothing's shifting, I'm not seeing things shift. I would affirm thousands of times a day. I even got the counter app, which I still use, I still like, by the way. But I kept going. You just have to keep going, okay? So every single person I know that struggled, they just kept going. They just never gave up. There's some people I know that would, on TikTok, they would just post video after video after video, and finally they got their big break. They had one video that went viral. Actually, that happened for me. I got 4.1 million views, and I think almost 800k likes or something on one video, and I just blew up out of nowhere. And I ended up getting 70K followers, and I get a lot of free stuff from TikTok. I know some people who've been out of a job for months, but something happened, something shifted, and they were able to get their dream job. And they never gave up. They never gave up. Like, they had like sad moments. I had my down moments. Just don't give up. Okay, so anyways, okay, I will for real get started. That was a really, really long intro, but I like talking a lot. I like yapping, and I really do intend that this helps someone. But yeah, let's go over the specific topics that I had in mind when it comes to SP manifestation. Because I do manifestation coaching, and because I've been through this myself, I decided to make this video about like the top 4 or 5 things. I'll definitely go over some self-concept affirmations, but I guess we have 4 things right now. 4 circumstances or situations that people run into when manifesting a specific person. Okay, this is not in any given order. This is just what I thought of upon reflecting. But yeah, one thing I have noticed clients come to me about, and even like some of the TikTok videos that I see, these people may not even be into manifestation, but there's a lot of girls, especially, that complain about not being someone's type. Like, there's some girls that are trying to manifest a guy or whoever. This isn't this isn't like gender based. You could be a guy trying to manifest a girl, or a guy, or non-binary, whatever. This is for everyone, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest. And actually, before I get started, one other thing I want to say is that all of this can apply to other aspects of life too. Okay, like, I know people look at my channel and be like, oh, this is just all romance, love, this, that. But one thing I really, really make sure to make clear in all my videos is that all of this advice that I give you, this love advice, this romantic advice, it can be applicable to other aspects of your life too. Just change the words a little bit, okay? But whatever you're trying to manifest, all this knowledge that you're learning, it's not going to waste. Even if you kind of gave up on love for a little bit, or are taking a break from romantic relationships, know that this will help you change your mindset for good, change your perspective, which will help you with so many different things, like your health, mental health, again, like mindset, career, abundance in general, right? Like finances, friendships, social relationships, right? So yeah, I just want to put that out there. But okay, let's for real get started. The first circumstance that I've noticed is that people will complain that they're not their SP's type. Now, how do you reframe that? How do you get over that? Or how do you transcend that? Because at the end of the day, everything is a circumstance, and circumstances don't matter. Okay, they never mattered. Don't give them so much hype. Sometimes we'll put circumstances on a pedestal, and we don't need to do that. Okay, circumstances are they're just there, and they can be gone. Okay, they can be obliterated in seconds. They can be gone tomorrow, because I've seen things shift and change overnight, so I know this stuff works. But one way you can reframe it is by just saying, I'm everyone's favorite everything. I am everyone's type. Anyone would be lucky to be with me. Okay, let me tell you, I have been with guys who I was not their type based on their history, based on who they were adding on social media, yet they still went out with me. They still courted me. They still did a lot of nice things for me, paid for dinners, dates, and they were all really attractive too. They were very attractive, and ironically, this is just my experience. For some reason, these guys treated me better than maybe some guys whose type I was, which was interesting. But maybe I had some weird, sneaky limiting belief and the crevices or psyche of my subconscious mind that I didn't even know. But it's crazy because the guys whose quote unquote type I wasn't, because I started affirming this, I'm everyone's type, anyone would be lucky to be with me. I feel like maybe that's why they treated me so well. And I'm telling you, at the end of the day, type doesn't matter, because I'll tell you, I'm a pretty stubborn person. I've completely changed my type. Who I used to date in high school is not who I'm dating right now at all. Okay, my type completely shifted 180. And plus, I've noticed that as people's as people go through experiences, right, even social media, certain trends happen and they hype up a certain type of person, right? People can change their minds. Type is not just set for life, and I know that because I myself have been through that. I've even seen my friends, I've even seen my guy friends change their type. Actually, most of my guy friends, they don't really have a type. I've seen them date all types of women and things like that. So just know that the whole type thing, it doesn't matter as much as you think it matters. just from my perspective, because I do speak from like the perspective of a woman that likes men, like I'm straight, right? So I have noticed that like I've seen people say things like, oh, women are less likely to like change type or like whatever, right? And like, again, that's just a limiting belief, but maybe if you're a woman that thinks that, maybe you could be projecting that. Maybe you've never changed your type. Maybe you've only had the same type your whole life, and then like when you try to date a guy, maybe that triggers you a lot because that's the way you think. So it could be that you're projecting your beliefs onto other people, and maybe that's just not the case at all, right? Like I'm just like talking about like what I have noticed, like some people talk to me about, right? So yeah, and just know that again, type, all of that is very, very malleable. Things are always shifting, things are always changing. Actually, like there's some types that I didn't like, the maybe I used to like really, really find attractive when I was younger that I don't. I'll just give you an example. I think when I was younger, I used to really like the football like jock type of guy, and I kind of don't really like that anymore. Like I wouldn't like be opposed to it, but right now, because I work in like finance and tech, I kind of like the tech bros. I like the finance bros. I like the slightly like nerdier ones. I'm not like, again, I don't like, I'm not shaming anyone for being into sports, but I'm just like not that into guys that are like overly into sports and they're not smart. Like my type is intelligent, and back when I was younger, my type was athletic and a little bit like not that intelligent. Like I'm not saying athletic people can't be intelligent, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just using this as an example, but it's like things shifted, my perspective shifted, even like the people I was around, like that, they shifted my perspective on certain things. Yeah, like that's just one example. So like again, everyone, like people can change their type in whatever way, shape, or form, whether you're talking about race, whether you're talking about like hobbies, their archetype, the type of person you are. Like in the manifestation community, the possibilities are endless. Okay, so yeah. Anyways, the other thing I get, the other problem that I think a lot of us have been through is third party. Okay, what happens when there's a third party when you're trying to manifest your SP? Okay, the affirmations you can say to counteract this, to transcend the circumstance, is I only focus on the version of reality where we're in a happy, healthy, committed relationship with each other. Back to what I was saying in the beginning of this video, I only focus on the reality I prefer. I don't let anything into my reality that I don't want. And if that does end up happening, maybe something happened, maybe you observed something that you didn't want to see that triggered you, just don't give so much attention to it. I think it's okay to like maybe talk it out a little bit to just get it out of your system, but you don't have to spend your whole life talking about it, like, oh, this always happens, I'm always like, no, like that's what, like, manifestation coaching, I will like listen to you, I will, like whatever it is, maybe you like ask ChatGPT about these things, whatever it is that you do, it's okay to like talk about it a little bit to just like understand where your limiting beliefs or like where this assumption came from. But one way to like counteract this once and for all is to just affirm that I only focus on the version of reality where we're in a happy, healthy, committed relationship with each other. Every other reality is false. Every other reality doesn't matter. You don't need to give it attention. Don't give attention to things you don't like. Like think of this as like spam text. Like sometimes we'll get like spam text messages, right? Or maybe you signed up for some list and you keep getting text messages, and maybe you just like delete and block, report to spam, right? Like that's exactly what you have to do with circumstances, with things that show up in your reality that trigger you. Okay, the other affirmation you can say, this is one of my favorites, is no one compares to me, I am irreplaceable. The amount of third parties I have obliterated in my life, like not just in the realm of romance, but like just maybe just unwanted, like if I was like applying for like a position or something, right? This works really, really well. And same with me, like I have had to deal with 3Ps, unfortunately. I would just say no one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable. No one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable. No one compares to me, I'm irreplaceable. And this has worked really, really well for my clients. I've even like manifested this for other people and like, or told them this affirmation. This works like a charm. Okay, maybe if you don't want like an overly complicated or long affirmation, just say no one compares to me, I am irreplaceable. You can even say I have always been irreplaceable. And I'm telling you, I've had like multiple exes come back into my life, even after having a girlfriend, even dating other girls, they've come back, okay, because I just didn't focus on that. I'm like, okay, I'm the best. I'm the best of the best. I'm everyone's favorite everything. Why would they care about these other girls? I'm the best, because again, this is your reality. It's not selfish. It's not mean. It's not narcissistic. It's not like bad to affirm that. This is your reality. The law of assumption, manifestation, spiritual world is a lot different than like the real world. Okay, like this is your reality. What do you want to experience? Do you want to be a loser in your reality? I know that's some tough love here, but like I gotta tell you, like, don't be a loser in your reality. Don't be a victim in your reality. Don't operate from a scarcity mindset in your reality. You are always chosen. You've always been chosen. You're gonna stay being chosen because you're amazing. And when you say this, you will start to believe it. That will become like second nature to you. Like, you know how sometimes when you like drive or even just like walking, you don't have to think super hard to do that. You just like, you know where everything goes, you know how everything functions, right? That's what happens when you start affirming, because maybe some people are like, how does this work? This is so woo woo, but there's a lot of neuroscience behind this, because when you say certain things, when you keep feeding your neurons with the same, you know, food, aka affirmations, then that's what's like even with your body, right? Like that's what's gonna fill it. Like when you eat a lot of healthy things, right? That you, and like, okay, for example, like I know some people that are like, even for me, I'm like, you know, in my weight range, like I'm healthy, I'm fit, and like sometimes I'll have like, you know, sweets here and there, but for the most part I eat healthy. And like, because like for the most part I eat healthy, right? That's my diet. I never like, you know, like get to a weight that I don't want to be. I always look healthy, I feel fit, I'm healthy, like in every single way, shape, and form, right? Like that's exactly how affirmations are. Affirmations are like your mental diet. So when you affirm, when you like, you know, if you do robotic affirming, mantra meditation, repeated saturation, whatever it is that you want to call it, those negative thoughts you have, like they just don't hold any weight. They just don't have any power. Even for me, you know, sometimes I do have doubts about the economy, about like, you know, all these things happening, but at the end of the day, I stay having a job, I stay having money in my bank account, I stay traveling, I stay doing these, you know, cool things in my life, having great experiences, while also being conscious of things like, you know, because I'm a little bit rooted in the 3D world. But my point is that even though these things are like thrown my way, like I'm still happy, thriving, successful, and you deserve to live that way too. You deserve to have that too. And the reason I say that is because I'm living proof that this exists, and I'm making these videos for free. I don't even charge that much for my products, because I stay being financially stable. I'm like still here, like years later, like being financially stable, always living in a luxury apartment. I've never lived in an apartment in New York City, so that's where I live, that didn't have a doorman, that didn't have an elevator, that didn't have an in-unit washer dryer. Like I always had these amenities, which by the way, like it is okay for you to have that. It is okay for you to have the bare bones basic minimum. Honestly, I feel like we should all be affirming for more than that. We can all live in an abundant world, because there's more than enough abundance to go around for everyone. That's why even when manifesting 3Ps out of your life, it's not bad, it's not evil, because you can just manifest that 3P found someone better. Okay, there's so many better options for that 3P. Maybe if you feel bad about it, maybe like you can't say these affirmations because like you're reacting a certain way, like your mind's reacting a certain way, and you're having a lot of pushback. Just one affirmation you can say that is really, really helpful is that there's more than enough abundance for everyone to go around. Okay, because even for me, the amount of times where like I thought I was totally in love with a guy or really like someone, and I just realized, wait, actually I'm not that into them. Like you're 3P, your SPs, like, you know, other person can change their mind too. Your SP can change their mind, like actually this person's not really for me. I thought I liked this person, but no, I liked you. That's actually happened to me. Like I think I have given this example, but my high school, you know, sweetheart, whatever, broke my heart, and you know, he would date all these girls after me publicly, always kept me a secret. I was like the, you know, like the, yeah, I guess like the secret girlfriend that he never like, you know, posted on social media. Literally like years later, he told me, I never, like, you were the only girl who I ever truly loved. And this guy literally posted or like, you know, talked about how he loved this other girl after me. And like years later when we reconnected, he's like, no, actually you were the only girl I loved. And he was a total like player F-boy, but like he had like, you know, soft spot in his heart for me. And when he said this, it's not like he was trying to get with me, he wasn't trying to gain anything out of it. He just like, you know, we just had a real raw conversation, and I wasn't even actively manifesting for him. So if I had, maybe things like, you know, would have worked out or something. Not that I really wanted them to, but my point is like, you can manifest someone that you are still into. It doesn't always have to be like, oh, when I stop caring, then they care, or when they, you know, I tend to care and they don't, and I always attract emotionally unavailable people. My point is, you can just affirm that, like, whoever you want, whoever you like, likes you back. They want you back when you want them. When you're into them, you're both emotionally available for each other. You don't have to keep going through this constant loop of, oh, like, I'm not that into someone in the beginning, but whenever I do start catching feelings for them, that's when, like, they stop doing that, or they kind of pull back their energy. It does not have to be that way. I'm not even sure how this world, like, how we got to a, like, reality where this has been happening to a lot of people. This actually, like, got me thinking. I'm like, is there, like, some sort of programming that, we've been under, some spell we've been under? And then I realized, no, like, that's just our own programming. That's just our own, that's just a reflection of our own thoughts and beliefs. And yeah, you can blame things on external things as much as you want, but at the end of the day, like, yeah, you can acknowledge that maybe we were programmed to think this way. Maybe, like, hookup culture, dating app culture, whatever. Maybe, that is something that affected the collective, right? But now that you're aware of the problem, which that's totally okay to say, you can say, okay, well, I call my power back from these systems. I call my power back from this weird programming that I don't resonate with, that I don't want in my life. Again, life will throw things at you. And I know some people will be like, oh, well, we didn't attract that. We didn't manifest that. No, but you somehow became aware of that. That showed up in your reality. That actually, believe it or not, doesn't show up in everyone's reality. I actually know a handful of people that, like, never did the hookup culture. Like, they didn't, like, even, they barely even use dating apps. Okay, so I'm just saying, like, people experience different things in their reality, and if there's something that you don't want in your reality, one way to change that fast is to just affirm, I call my power back, or I call my power back from these systems. I call my energy back. I shift my mindset. It's easy for me to change my mindset. It's easy for me to change my perspective. I operate from an abundance mindset. I refuse to be a victim. I refuse to feel sad all the time. Again, for me, I am also someone who is very conscious of the things that are going on in society, right? Like, because I am, like, rooted in the 3D to an extent, and I get that you may be that way too. That's why I don't want to just blatantly say, like, oh, stop being in a victim mindset, because some of us were genuinely victims, and that sucks and it hurts. But the thing about manifestation is that you can change that. You can change that by just thinking different thoughts, and you will experience a different reality. Because believe it or not, even if you look at what's going on in the external world, there are people who are living completely different lives than you. All this, like, stuff that's going on, it's not even affecting them, because they live in a different part of the world, or their mindset is just different. Like, even for me, I'll give you an example. Like, no matter what the economy has thrown my way, pandemic, certain people getting elected, messing up the economy, whatever, I still stayed being financially stable. Okay, and again, you can, like, blame everyone else, or you can call your power back. And again, it's okay to acknowledge that, like, yeah, there is something that's affecting the collective, and these systems do maybe, like, there are things that need to change in my external reality, right? Just honestly, at the end of the day, think however you want to think, do whatever you want to do. That's the whole premise of my channel. Like, I'm never going to tell you have to do this, you can't do this. This is just based off of what I go through. This is just my experiences as the person that I am in this reality, right? So I did want to put that out there. So yeah, that was really long, but I really do hope that this helps someone. And I do apologize in advance if this offended anyone. Again, whatever I say, I'm just saying because I genuinely want you to live your best life. I'm saying these in hopes that I will empower you, in hopes that I can shift your mindset, shift your perspective, and really just help you achieve all your goals. Because again, the manifestation world, law of assumption community, whatever you want to call it, like, there's different realities, right? Like, there's the 3D people. There are people who are so deeply rooted in the 3D that, like, they just, like, sacrifice themselves, and, like, just they're too logical minded in some ways. I'm like, at some point I'm like, dude, maybe you should kind of think a little bit more from your right brain, or whatever other energy, right? Yin energy, whatever creative energy, and change your perspective, shift your perspective. And here is the thing, if everyone thought this way, or most people thought this way, we could all be living in a better reality. We would live in a better world. Everything would be good for everyone. Because again, the one thing that I want you to take away is that there's enough abundance for everyone to go around. It is a limiting belief. It is a scarcity mindset way of thinking, or scarcity mindset way of thinking. That was redundant, but it's a limiting belief that, like, some people have to struggle and suffer. No, they don't. And the more that these kinds of ideologies get spread, the more we can take back our power from these systems, or anything in your life that has triggered you, that has hurt you, whether it's your traumatic childhood, past negative experiences with people, whatever it is that has hurt you, right? It's different for different people. I'm just talking about what I've observed, but yeah, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle. Things can change for you instantly. You can be happy. You're allowed to be happy. You are allowed to feel safe. You are allowed to feel good. You are allowed to experience the love that you want with the person that you want it. You should not settle. You should not have to settle. Don't even think about settling. Settling is not an option, okay? You are allowed to be rich. You're allowed to have money. You're allowed to travel wherever you want. You're allowed to, just whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, for the good of all and harm to none, you're allowed to have that. That's also something I like adding, for the good of all and harm to none, okay? Like, I do feel like there are ways that we can all have a very good life, because again, different people have different priorities in life. Believe it or not everyone wants to travel. Not everyone cares about living in a luxury apartment. Not everyone even cares about, like, getting married, this, that. So, like, maybe you're just like, oh, there's just not enough good men for me to date out there because they're all taken, or women, or whatever. No, like, there is someone for everyone. There is enough money for everyone to go around. There's enough abundance and happiness for everyone to tap into. But we gotta really shift our mindset. We gotta change that thinking within ourselves, and reality will reflect that. Don't fall into the trap that you are just stuck in this way of living, that stagnancy is a thing that will follow you for the rest of your life. Do not fall into that trap. It is literally an illusion, okay? So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about the last point that I have here, and then I want to go to the self-concept section here, okay? Maybe you manifested your SP back, but you're experiencing this weird version of them, whatever that may be. Like, maybe they're back in your life, maybe they're texting you, but it's not the version that you want or prefer. So what you can say to counteract that, or you can replace that with, is, I only focus on the best version of them. I am so grateful I always receive love, loyalty, and commitment from the best version of who I choose. I am always respected, romanced, and spoiled. Now let's dissect this. I only focus on the best version of them. I only experience the best versions of people. Okay? Whenever they show up for me fully. This one I really like. It is a little bit long, but bear with me here. I am so grateful I always receive love, loyalty, and commitment from the best version of who I choose. I really like this I choose here, because you are choosing that version of them. You are the one that's choosing the reality where they're doing everything that you want them to do, where you are experiencing that amazing, loyal version of them that spoils you, that takes you out on these, like, fancy dates, or whatever it is that you want to experience. Different people have different expectations, right? Yeah, this I choose is really important, because a lot of us have gotten it wrong. Actually, this isn't wrong. I don't like saying that, but it's not that you want to be chosen. Okay, like I know a lot of people will say things like, oh, I'm always chosen. And I do think that's a great affirmation. But what if we reframe that to I choose, thus giving you the power? You call back your power when you say things like I choose, I prefer, because this is your reality. You are choosing what benefits you. It's not so much about you being picked. You are picking the reality where you're experiencing everything you want. Actually, I think I came up with this myself. I haven't really seen that many other people talk about it, but this is something that, like, has really shifted my perspective on everything, and that ended up reflecting in my reality, because I'm the one that's doing the choosing, and you're the one that's doing the choosing. It's always been you all along. This will help you call back your power. Maybe if you don't want to say like 50 different affirmations, oh, I call back my power, I call back my energy, which I think those are great affirmations to say. But maybe if you just want like one affirmation that will really just, have you experiencing like the best love life ever, like, you and this person will be a power couple, or like whatever, maybe like, the couple that everyone like, is like, oh yeah, like they're gonna make it, like, they're like the best, their love is what I want, like, like sometimes you'll look at couples and be like, oh, I wish I had this in my life, right? So like that will be something that you experience when you say this, or when you say something similar to this, right? Like, I'm so grateful I always receive love, loyalty, and commitment from the best version of who I choose. Cheating does not exist in my reality. Infidelity, betrayal, those are non-existent in my reality. Okay, again, you don't have to focus on things like past timelines that you don't prefer. I only focus on what I do prefer. I'm the one doing the choosing. I'm the one that is dictating what I want to experience in my reality. I am choosing this version of them. I am choosing this reality, okay? The other affirmation I have for you is I am always respected, romanced, and spoiled. You know, I know a lot of my clients, you know, they really do want to be in relationships with people that spoil them, that respect them, that, you know, it's a good relationship. They're romanced every day. And relationships don't have to be hard. They don't have to be like this thing that you have to struggle to get, okay? You can be in your dream relationship. I know some couples that have been together for 50, 60, 70 years even, okay, that are like still together, that are happy, okay? This is kind of sad, but like my grandma unfortunately passed away last year, and like the last picture I have of her is like with my grandpa by her side on her bedside and all her family around her, and they were married for like I think like 60 plus years or so. So yeah, real love does exist, consistency, stability, loyalty, commitment. You know, for the most part, like from what I've heard, it was a good relationship. And yeah, you know, like all of this is possible. All of this is possible. You just have to believe it, or even if you don't believe it, just keep telling yourself that, so you will experience that in your reality, okay? Yeah, I even wrote here, it shifts back your power to you. So yeah, let's go over some self-concept affirmations. I like this like visual here. I got this from Pinterest. Credits to @crystalline.mind. I always think in a way that benefits me, or you can say I only think in ways that benefit me, okay? And then yeah, let's go over these self-concept affirmations, or like, are they self-concept? No, they're like facts. And some of these are self-concept, yeah. But the first thing I've written here is robotic affirming overrides addictive neural pathways and bypasses unconscious loops, okay? Sometimes you'll experience negative things in your reality because of these unconscious loops that you didn't even like, you know, realize you had deep in the crevices of your subconscious mind until you started seeing that in your 3D reality, okay? So yeah, choosing a new thought over an old one starves the old program. That's, yeah, going back to the example I was giving about like, you know, me like eating healthy versus not eating healthy, or mental diet versus like, you know, yeah, like just having limiting beliefs, okay? If you're thinking mostly in your favor, you're even saying these affirmations even if you don't believe them, you will experience less negative things. You won't experience triggers as much. Even when you do, they won't like last a long time, or they won't like, you know, sting really hard, okay? So yeah, just a reminder for that. The other thing I've written here is it is easy for me to think in my favor. I only focus on positive thoughts. I only focus on the reality I prefer. I cannot stress this enough. I feel like that was like the theme of this video. I started talking about in the beginning of the video. I'm talking about it now. I only focus on the reality I prefer. It is your reality, okay? You're allowed to experience what you want. The other thing I've written here is why do I always get what I want fast? I love affirmations because they force your brain to think about, you know, why these things happen to you or why they should happen to you, right? It's like reality has to prove that whatever you're thinking is real. So when you say positive or like self-concept based affirmations, you will experience that. Why do I always get what I want? Why am I so successful? Like your brain will literally look through all its files and come up with experiences and memories that prove that to be true. I like giving the visual of SpongeBob. If you ever watch SpongeBob, there's a scene where like, you know, like we're looking at his brain and there's all these mini SpongeBobs trying to find the file, right? So it's like when you say these things, you will rack your brain for all these memories and experiences that, you know, prove that like, yeah, like I do manifest fast. Actually, I am really lovable. Like it'll make you think of those things. And like when you're on that like pathway, right? Like when you ask a question, you do all the, you know, research, you deep dive, right? Like maybe you like go through a rabbit hole, right? Like that's exactly what will happen to you when you affirm, you know, positive affirmations or self-concept affirmations, okay? Yeah, the other thing I've written here is why am I so good at manifesting? Again, brain has to show evidence or proof that this is true. Why am I so good at manifesting everything I want? I'm a natural manifester. It's just so easy for me to manifest whatever I want. It's normal for me to experience abundance and luxury. It's safe for me to experience it, right? So yeah, the other thing I've written here is assume positive things about what you're into. Okay, so for those of you trying to manifest love and relationships, men are good, kind, and loyal. No matter what reality is showing me, men are good, kind, loyal. I know it can be easy to get sucked into like the man-hating loop. I've been there, trust me. And like actually it's interesting because like because I've affirmed so much, because I have mostly affirmed positive affirmations, even when I do see those videos or like those funny like man-hating videos, I actually don't see evidence that in my personal reality men are bad people. Like at least the men around me are actually like pretty nice, even though I may be seeing like weird news about like, you know, they're weird men. Like at least in my reality, the you know, guy I'm dating, the men that I've been around, they've been so nice to me. Okay, like I'll have like random men like carry my bags on the street, do nice things for me. Like I travel a lot, and it's always like men that, you know, are the first to like offer to put my suitcase on the, you know, the top of the seat, right? I forgot what it's called, the storage area, right? I can't do it myself. Those suitcases are so heavy. Yeah, but like my point is just affirm good things about whoever you're into. Men are good, kind, and loyal. Women are good, kind, and loyal. People in my reality are all respectful, nice, etc. Okay, men always spoil and romance me. It is easy for me to be in a long-term relationship. Relationships are so fun and easy for me. Again, you don't have to struggle to have a relationship. Relationships don't have to be hard. I know numerous friends that are happily married like years later, like literally 5-6 years later, that are happy, that are still very, very, very much in love, and I can see that. And I have this friend who, you know, her boyfriend, her husband now, still spoils her to this day. He acts the way he did on day one. Like he was spoiling her from like a month in. He did all these nice things, and he stays doing all these nice things for her years later, even after, like, you know, being married and, you know, having everything, right? So this kind of love does exist. We also have here, I always have happy, healthy relationships. Even, you know, socially, I always have happy, healthy friendships. I always have happy, healthy romantic relationships, right? Yeah. And the other thing I also wanted to address is that, yeah, right now, at least, you know, if you live in the United States, because I've been seeing this a lot, I've been seeing a lot of posts about, like, you know, celibacy, like 4B, like not dating men, not like, you know, decentering men, like romantic relationships not mattering as much anymore. I just want to say, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to experience, this is your reality. If you feel like you need to take a break from it, focus on yourself, and then maybe get back to like, okay, I do want a romantic relationship, that's fine. Or maybe you realize, you know, I don't really want that, and that's fine too. Again, that's why I make my videos, so that, like, you know, all this advice, like, you can apply to other aspects of life. But just know that, like, no matter what you're seeing, if love is really what you want, okay, maybe you've heard all these different perspectives, maybe you keep seeing videos about decentering men, this, that, or relationships, right? Again, I'm speaking from the perspective of a woman who likes men. Yeah. Yeah, but my point is, whatever it is that you want to manifest, just get really clear on it. I know some people will say things like, oh, it's like propaganda to want to be in a relationship, men, this, that. Like my channel is definitely not about, like, you know, catering to men, this, that. If anything, it's all about improving your self-concept, so that, you know, men will rise up, or women, or whoever you are into will rise up to meet your standards, because it's okay to want romantic love. Okay, it is okay to want to be in a relationship. It's not necessarily like, you know, propaganda from a certain, like, you know, party or something to do that. Like I know like several people in happy, healthy relationships from all different type, you know, parts of the spectrum and things like that, right? So my point is, just figure out what it is that you really want. For me, I'll just say, like, when I did decenter men, when I, like, you know, didn't just randomly give my time, energy, effort to random men, I was even selective about who I went on dates with, even though, like, you know, they, like, every time I go on a date, like, men always pay for it. Like, I don't even, like, they just do that. I don't even ask them, they just do that. That's just what I experienced in my reality. My point is, like, there were times when I did take a break just to really focus on myself and self-concept, and that's when, like, I experienced really good positive behavior from the men in my reality. Like, you know, to this day, my dad, like, you know, he will cook, he will clean, he pays the bills, like, he does everything for my mom. Like, my mom was sick and my dad was making chai, my dad was, like, you know, cleaning around, my dad made all 3 meals, or like he drove out to get a meal. Like, I'm just saying, like, not everyone is bad, not everyone sucks. And again, it's easy to fall into that way of thinking, right? And again, it's okay to, like, have discernment. It's okay to, like, see all sides of the situation. Like, yeah, I have been through that, but I don't want to experience that anymore. Maybe I actually feel like there's a huge shift that's happening for the better. It's like, most people want to be in a romantic relationship, and that's okay. I actually feel like what's going on in the, you know, the political sphere, or whatever you want to call it. Again, my channel isn't really about politics, but I do like addressing what's going on, right? My take is that, like, whatever is happening so that men rise up, so that, you know, romantic relationships are rooted in, you know, mutual harmony, balance, equality, equity, no power dynamics, like, you know, like just good, healthy, balanced romance where both individuals are happy. And you can, you know, be on whatever side, still want to be spoiled, still want like princess, prince, whatever treatment, have people pay, whatever. It's like the possibilities are endless. It's okay to want what you want. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. If this doesn't resonate, that's okay. I always send my videos, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I do want to let you know that I do offer in-depth manifestation, or I offer manifestation coaching and in-depth tarot readings. And if you like my style of doing things and coaching, and if you feel like you need a little bit of help, maybe you ask ChatGPT and AI and you still feel like things aren't shifting or moving, which they are, you know, that's limiting belief, things are shifting and moving, I will definitely help you. I do manifestation coaching, like I mentioned. Check out my website. The link to my website will be in the description box below. And yeah, happy manifesting. I intend that you all get your manifestations for the good of all and harm to none. Thank you so much.